Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us in this very special dual PhD launch ceremony between the University of Manchester and the University of Chile. We're very proud of launching this program, and we're very grateful for our distinguished guests that will accompany us today, and especially special thanks to our ambassadors from Chile in UK, David Gallagher, from the UK in Chile, Luis de Sousa. We have had to develop skills of TV production in a way. I mean, it's a complex issue, but I think that on the other hand, the pandemic has created an incredible opportunity to connect through these media, and ceremonies like this would be unthinkable 2 years ago. And it has also allowed us a level of connectivity. I mean, we have someone from Australia here, a professor from Manchester who is in this minute in Melbourne. And so it's something that we are going to live with. And the lessons from this period of experiencing this kind of situations will probably stay with us forever, and we'll return in the post-COVID area to a hybrid mode where we will use all these tools. But I resume the ceremony now, and I thank very specially to our ambassadors, and also to thank you very much, the President and Vice Chancellor of the University of Manchester, Professor Luis, Professor Nancy Rothwell, and all our distinguished Professor Ennio Vivaldi, the President of the University of Chile, and Ms. Aysen Echeverry, the Director of ANID. Thank you so much for joining us in this ceremony. So I'll introduce very briefly the University of Chile. It's a complex university working in research in all areas, 40,000 students and 10,000 graduate students. And we are, as I was saying, in a certain way, the pandemic has propelled an internationalization effort that has been ongoing since the birth of the university by our founder, Andrés Fello. So better to explain the university, will be presenting a short institutional video. So let's go ahead with that.
Life in unique natural laboratories. We look for answers and solutions to make a better future possible, regardless of distances and obstacles. We are the main university in the country and one of the most important in Latin America. We train the professionals and specialists that have built this nation, and the intellectuals that have transcended our borders as international reference of knowledge, culture, and arts. United in this diversity of landscapes, colors, people, and ideas, we build this borderless community. We work from Latin America in alliance with the world's main universities and research centers on the planet. A community engaged with the world. The university where one can live the experience of an entire country.
Thank you very much. So now I'm very pleased to introduce Professor Stephen Flint, the Associate Vice President for International Affairs of the University of Manchester, who will welcome you to this ceremony on behalf of Manchester University. Stephen.
Thank you, Eduardo, and good morning. A warm welcome from the University of Manchester to all our colleagues and guests in Santiago and the UK at this launch event for our dual PhD programme. One of my responsibilities at Manchester is the development of strategic partnerships with leading universities around the world. I'm delighted that our partnership with the University of Chile is being strengthened and deepened through this dual award programme that we will hear about in a few moments. I would particularly like to thank Professor Alicia Salomoni and Professor Richard Weber for their tireless enthusiasm and support for our project, as we called it, over the last few years. My own personal relationship with Chile goes back much further to 1982, when I was a first-year PhD student in geology. I arrived in Antofagasta for 3 months of field work to the north of San Pedro de Atacama. These days, of course, San Pedro is an internationally famous tourist destination, but back then I was the only gringo in town. In the 1990s, I was fortunate to work down in Aysén province and further south in the famous Torres del Paine area. But no matter where I have traveled in Chile, there are two constants: kind and generous people and outstanding natural beauty. What a wonderful combination. I would now like to provide a short summary of the key research areas we are focusing on at the University of Manchester via this short video.
Across the world, we face challenges that impact upon all of our lives. We demand so much of our planet, of ourselves, and of each other. At the University of Manchester, we're meeting these challenges head-on. We're committing our knowledge and power to tackling some of the world's critical questions. Our research is linking more efficient, sustainable, and affordable energy for the planet. It's finding sustainable alternatives to the finite resources used to manufacture goods we use every day. We're developing advanced materials for the most extreme environments and the most familiar. Our expertise is helping to tackle inequalities that people face across the globe. It's also helping to create a world in which more of us survive cancer and live longer. As long as the world keeps turning, we'll continue to face challenges, and our demands will keep growing by the day. But as the UK's biggest campus-based university, Manchester has the size and strength to see the new ways forward, bringing the best minds together. From across disciplines and sectors, we find fresh and innovative answers to the world's biggest questions. These are global challenges. These are Manchester solutions.
Thank you very much, Stephen, for this very nice overview of activities at the University of Manchester. So now I'm very happy to introduce Ms. Aysén Echeverri, the President of ANID Chile, who will greet us.
Thank you very much, Eduardo, and good morning, good afternoon to everybody that is present in this very beautiful and important ceremony. As the funding agency for the government of Chile, we have various roles and responsibilities. One of those is to really understand what are the needs of the system and what is the potential of our science and technology ecosystem to better grow and develop. Over the years, we have seen how the PhD programs have increasing number. We have over 200 PhD programs in our country, but also they have been strengthened in their maturity and their sophistication. We believe that these dual programs are an example of that. They allow our students to deepen their capacities in inter and transdiscipline, to have cultural exchanges with other countries in the world. And what they do is that they improve our system as a whole. these opportunities and these initiatives are also a learning experience for our agency. We as an agency need to understand how the system is working. We need to understand how we can improve and promote these sort of initiatives. So today we're here not as a funding agency, but also as an actor in our ecosystem that needs to listen and to understand and to learn from our institutions that are leading the way in creating a much better and stronger science and technology ecosystem. We as a country are living or enduring a period of strong and deep changes, right? We are discussing today how we're going to create a better society for our citizens. And in that process, science has to play a role that we believe is key. And knowledge has to play a role that we believe is key. Universidad de Chile has been leading those discussions, has been a leader in those discussions by generating knowledge for our country and by moving the frontier knowledge and of capacities. We see this initiative and the launching of this dual program today as an example of that. So as an agency and in representation of my entire team, we congratulate Universidad de Chile, University of Manchester. We are going to be looking closely how this initiative develops, and we hope to learn from it and to maybe understand how we can make these sort of initiatives more and better for all our universities in the future. So congratulations to everyone that worked on this. We hope this will be full of success in the future.
Thank you very much, Aysen. We're very happy to have you here in this ceremony, very significant. So thank you very much, Aysen. And now I'd like to introduce Professor Rodrigo Moreno of the University of Chile here in Santiago, and Professor Pierluigi Mancarella from the University of Manchester, who is presently in this minute in Australia. And as I was mentioning, thanks to these communication tools, we can all meet in this virtual space. And they will be referring to the Newton Fund project and the Newton Prize, which was a really good momentum and seed for what we have been able to build. So next is, let me hear Professor Rodrigo Moreno and Professor Pierluigi Mancarella. Thank you.
Perhaps I can start giving you a little bit of background about actually how everything started, which is in January 2015 when I was invited to visit on a visiting professorship scheme, actually funded by CONICET. So at the time, Rodrigo organized a number of meetings with relevant stakeholders, particularly Coordinador, the system operator of Chile, and they really showed lots of interest in the topic of power system resilience to extreme events. So at the time, the work we were doing at the University of Manchester was really pioneering the word. Now everyone is talking about resilience. At the time, we were really first ones doing that. So we started the ideas of a collaboration, and to be honest, many of the ideas actually were generated in at Rodrigo's place. I remember very hot discussions in his kitchen, drinking coffee, and that's again the value having this kind of exchanges, really, and as you know, and I'm actually looking forward to this one. So through these discussions, lots of coffee, of course, then there was an opportunity a few months later when I went back to Manchester, where there was a call for a joint UK-Chile project in the under the Newton Picard scheme. And of course, we applied and we were successful with the project on power system resilience against earthquakes. So unfortunately, it's a big issue in Chile. So we won the project, and then we started this fantastic collaboration where there were lots of exchanges again. Of course, this would not have been possible without the original discussions and exchange we had through my visiting professor. So I'm very thankful to Rodrigo for inviting me, and of course to CONICET for supporting that. The project was extremely successful to the point that eventually we were awarded a Newton Prize. That was fantastic because again, really testified again the importance of such collaboration. Now I'm very proud to say that some of the research that we've done set the standards internationally in terms of power system resilience, like incredibly important topic. And our research, besides being some of the most cited in the world in the field, has also got a real impact. Our tools are currently being used in Chile, in the UK, but also in Italy, Australia, Malaysia. It's really fantastic to think how everything started. And now I can only say that through this double PhD and scheme, I can only say ad majora, really. And I think Rodrigo would like to say something more.
Thank you, Pierluigi. Yes, of course, this project and research innovations could not be possible without the participation of key stakeholders who passionately work and engage in our activities for many years until now. In total, 26 institutions were participating in the first Newton-Picard project. The project was a large consortium led by the University of Manchester, of course, particularly Professor Pierluigi Mancarella and Dr. Matteo Spantelli. The University of Chile, led by Professor Fernando Ordóñez and myself, but also included the Catholic University of Chile, led by Professor Hugh Rudnick, and a number of other bodies like Instituto de Sistemas Complejos de Ingeniería, Centro de Energía from the University of Chile, the National System Operator, Coordinador Eléctrico Nacional, and government institutions like the Energy Ministry and the National Energy Commission. Industrial associations of network companies, empresas eléctricas, renewables, Acera, and generation companies, Generadoras AG, were also part of this consortium. So we're very grateful and for their work and support. According to Mr. Oscar Alamos, at that time, the head of risk management and energy emergencies unit at the Chilean Energy Ministry, this project was key in many ways. Particularly, he said, and I quote, attending the workshops and different activities organized within this project, I learned innovative concepts about planning resilient systems that I apply on a regular basis in policy making. Now, I can personally say that thanks to this enormous collaboration in which researchers work together with practitioners, sharing experiences and thoughts at an international level, we have seen powerful fruits for the country. Today, the concept of resilience in energy systems is very much present in Chile, with our collaborative work illuminating the way to analyze and include resilience in practice. This very last sentence is not coming from us, and is actually a quote by Juan Carlos Araneda, who is the Deputy Planning Manager of the Chilean System Operator, and interestingly, also an alumni of the University of Manchester. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rodrigo. And now we are going to see an overview of this new dual PhD program in electrical engineering. And we will see this overview and some explanations about the program itself from Professor Rodrigo Moreno of the University of Chile and Mr. Alex Gaskill from the University of Manchester. But before I pass the word to them, we'll see a nice video production of the program itself that was put together in this last few weeks by the communication teams of the University of Manchester and University of Chile. And itself, the production of the video is a very, very good example of the collaboration, very effective collaboration of the two universities. So thank you, please, Christina.
The University of Manchester and the University of Chile are more than 11,000 kilometers apart. But the distance is relative when we are talking about collaboration. This is how both institutions maintain an active scientific and academic relationship. For years, they have built bridges in order to find new and better solutions to global challenges. These include innovations and new technologies for responding to socio-natural disasters and climate change, protecting people around the world.
Today, our two institutions undertake a new challenge together with the launch of the dual PhD program in electrical engineering, an innovative program where students of diverse origins will be able to undertake their research and training in a multicultural environment that will enrich their educational experience. Our joint research environment results from the creation of mathematical models that contribute to the strengthening of energy systems against the risk of natural hazards, an initiative awarded the prestigious Newton Prize from the British government in 2018. The distance becomes relative. We are excited about this new phase of our relationship to research and create together.
Thank you very much. And thanks to the two teams of the University of Manchester and University of Chile that worked so nicely putting together this video presentation. So now Mr. Alex Gaskill from the University of Manchester will want to add some words about the dual PhD program. Please, Alex.
I think Professor Moreno is going to go first, actually. So over to you, Rodrigo.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Eduardo. Well, today we celebrate the unity of two great programs and the continuity of the collaboration in award-winning research led by two remarkable institutions. Both the University of Manchester and the University of Chile feature a rich history of achievements in electrical engineering, being at the very top of the field in their respective regions. On the one side, the University of Chile pioneered studies in Chile with the first atomic particle accelerator, the first live television broadcast, the first scientific computer, the first solar power car, the first national energy policy, and the first and unique satellite design, developed and launched into space. The University of Manchester has accomplished great goals too, of significance, of global significance in the field of electrical engineering. From splitting the atom to giving the world graphene, from pioneering power flow calculations to launching the first MSc in power system globally. With more Nobel laureates on the staff than any other UK university, the University of Manchester offered top class education and strong skills to link to industry and public services. The great prestige, experience, and achievements of these institutions are now combined and offered to our students, attempting to push their boundaries at the very maximum, expanding their skills, capabilities, and knowledge. Alex, please.
The Dual Award Programme represents an exciting new development in the partnership between our two institutions. Building upon the impactful research that has already been undertaken, the new programme will see the partnership consolidated through the co-supervision of talented postgraduate researchers. Transnational education takes many forms, but what makes this programme distinct and exciting is the way in which it goes beyond the standard concept of progression from one institution to another. In the case of this initiative, the partnership and interrelation is tangible for the full duration of the programme. To illustrate this, I would like to highlight the following aspects. The scoping of the PhD projects will be a collaborative process involving supervisors in Manchester and Santiago. Both institutions will be involved in the selection of candidates for the programme. Joint supervisory teams will be maintained throughout with progression monitored by both institutions. Assessment will be conducted by a joint panel with internal examiners from both institutions. And finally, upon successful completion of the programme, both institutions will issue degree certificates which reference the dual nature of the award. With 2 years spent at each institution, postgraduate researchers recruited to the programme will benefit from the collective expertise of the joint supervisory team, as well as the facilities and research infrastructure of two globally renowned institutions. Will, of course, also benefit from the cultural experience of undertaking research in two distinct countries. Whilst we're piloting this programme in the field of electrical engineering, the framework agreements can easily be applied to other research themes, and we look forward to exploring opportunities to extend the model to other discipline areas. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. And what we're celebrating today is really the fruit of a very deep internationalization process going on in the universities worldwide, but with the great strength, University of Manchester and University of Chile as following that roadmap. And in the internationalization effort, our embassies obviously play a tremendous role increasingly. So we're very, very grateful of the support, enthusiastic support of our embassies in these endeavors. So it's a great pleasure and honor to introduce the Ambassador of UK in Chile, Ambassador Luis de Souza. Please give us some greetings.
Thank you very much, Professor Vera. Ambassador Gallagher, my friend David, Professor Dame Nancy Rothwell, Professor Ennio Vivaldi, distinguished professors and guests. I'm sorry I joined you a little late, but just hearing the few speakers has been really inspirational and heartwarming. At the end of last year, the UK launched the Turing Scheme, which is a new £100 million programme to support thousands of students to study and do work placements across the world, which will boost student skills and prospects, as we've just heard through this programme, and support Global Britain's ties with international partners. As the University's UK International Director, Vivian Stern said, evidence shows that students who have international experience tend to do better academically and in employment, and the benefits are greatest for those who are least advantaged. And I completely agree with what she says. At the beginning of this year, our Prime Minister unveiled the UK's ambitious plan to become a global science superpower, recognising not only the UK's world-class research and innovation, but also emphasising the need to encourage collaborations and to promote the environment to attract the world's top scientists and research to our shores. This dual PhD absolutely reflects his vision. I'm certain that this programme will only serve to strengthen the already close links between British and Chilean universities and will help to drive forward joint efforts to tackle common challenges, balancing the sometimes competing priorities of development, environmental sustainability, and requirements for natural resources. This is a time of big challenges, but also of big opportunities. And we will only overcome the crises that we are experiencing, from the global, climate change and pandemic, for example, to the local, making our communities more resilient and prosperous if we harness our creativity and work together. The way that the UK and Chile have collaborated, for example, through our back-to-back presidencies of UN climate summits, COP25 and COP26, has demonstrated the spirit I'm talking about. But such collaboration must last beyond the international spotlight of global meetings. It must endure over time. And our countries are joining once more through programs like this to commit and work together for a more sustainable, resilient, inclusive, and stronger future in which education, science, and innovation must be at the forefront. So I'm really delighted to be here and to see not only that our science and innovation partnership with Chile is going from strength to strength, but also to be part of the celebration of one of the many legacies of the Newton-Pickard Fund. I hope that this joint PhD is only the start of a long-lasting programme, and I'm encouraged to hear about the potential you see for broadening it as well. And I am sure that it will be very successful and of great benefit to both our nations. So thank you for inviting me to join you in your celebration today, and please do count on the continued support of this embassy in growing your collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor de Souza, and we're very pleased to have you and very honored to have you. And so next, we will hear the words from our ambassador in London and your colleague and friend, David Gallagher.
Professor Dame Nancy Rothwell, Professor Ennio Vivaldi, Your Excellency, and indeed a good friend, Luis de Sousa, Aysén Echeverri, Professor Vera. What a pleasure and honor it is for me to participate in the launch of this jointly awarded dual PhD program in electrical engineering. For my embassy in London, Chile-UK educational links are of the highest priority. They go to the heart of our great treasure as a country, our human capital. And happily, the UK is the most popular destination for Chilean postgraduate students. Within the UK, Manchester is indeed especially popular. In this context, Chile's higher education institutions have been actively liaising with their British counterparts for quite some time now. And this dual PhD program between Universidad de Chile and Manchester University is the latest example, not just of a long-standing partnership between these universities, but also of a successful Chile-UK partnership in the higher education sector. The story behind this program, as we've heard it, proves that a key element to promoting those partnerships is to have the chance to meet across our distant hemispheres and then step by step develop relationships of trust, shared goals and values. That is how the seeds are planted that will eventually lead to exciting ventures like this one. As an embassy, we are committed to building bridges and providing opportunities for these seeds to germinate. That is why we work closely with Universities UK International and with a range of British universities interested in learning more about how to strengthen ties with Chile. Now, a brief anecdote. The first time Dr. Alicia Salomone, Director of Postgraduate Degrees at the Universidad de Chile, met Professor Stephen Flint from University of Manchester was at an event organized by this embassy back in 2015. A group of 14 delegates of CRUCH, our Council of Deans of Universities of Chile, were then visiting the UK to strengthen ties with British universities. So our embassy, at that time, the ambassador was my predecessor, Rolando Drago, contributed a tiny grain of salt towards today's exciting story. A tiny grain of salt we are nevertheless extremely proud of. With the help and support of our partners at ANID, the British Embassy in Chile, and the British Council, we are hoping to provide further assistance in linking institutions. So to finish, my heartiest congratulations to everyone involved in making this dual PhD program possible. We look forward to finding out about the next exciting Chile-UK project that arises from the students who undertake these degrees. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Gallagher. And as you mentioned, the academic effort is more and more a collective effort to tackle the very complex problems that we face in the world. In that respect, the leadership of our universities and aligning the effort of professors and the academic authorities is so important. So it's very, very comforting to know that our presidents highlight and give a tremendous importance to this kind of programs that really reflect a very deep collaboration effort and synchronization between two universities far apart, but very close in heart. So it's a pleasure and honor also to welcome Professor Nancy Rothwell, the President and Vice Chancellor of the University of Manchester.
Thank you, Eduardo. Your Excellencies, Rector Vivaldi, distinguished guests, friends, colleagues, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. I'm delighted to be here. Sadly, only virtually today, but hopefully in person in the not too distant future, at the launch of this exciting dual award PhD program between the University of Manchester and Universidad de Chile. At Manchester, a cornerstone of our international strategy is partnerships. No single country has a monopoly on talent, and it's only through global collaboration that we can address the major challenges to our planet and our society. These partnerships are also essential for producing future generations of skilled global citizens, capable of carrying forward our values and ensuring world peace and prosperity. We're developing a small number of key partnerships. We are very selective with leading institutions around the world. Universidad de Chile is one of the very top universities in Latin America, and we very much look forward to strengthening that relationship in the years ahead. This dual PhD program is a powerful step forwards. While those of us who lead universities can encourage and facilitate the development of partnerships and collaboration, for them to really succeed, they have to be driven and maintained by bottom up, by our academics who wish to work together on solving the world's challenges. Our relationship with Universidad de Chile exactly fits these criteria. As we've heard, the impetus originated from a collaboration and a Newton Fund grant to develop smart ways of restoring electricity supplies following natural disasters and building in resilience. The work has already led to global applications, particularly in Southeast Asia. We were delighted to be awarded jointly a Newton Prize in 2018. The dual PhD program involves collaborative scoping of projects, co-supervision throughout, and students spending 2 years in each institution. Students on the program can expect to benefit from world-class academic supervision and research infrastructure. And we're delighted that ANID is able to provide a source of funding so that talented Chilean researchers are able to capitalize, just as we hope our Turing scheme mentioned by the ambassador will help the British students in this scheme. It's our joint intention to expand the range of research areas under the scheme across science and engineering, potentially to include humanities, social sciences and medicine, thus further strengthening our partnership. There is no doubt that COVID-19 has placed a great strain on universities and societies across the world, with a rapid switch to distance learning and restrictions on many activities, such as fieldwork, face-to-face seminars, travel, and graduation ceremonies. However, as you mentioned earlier, Eduardo, the experience has also demonstrated how versatile we can be. And we're considering now how we can build back better in our teaching, learning, student experience, research collaborations, and international partnerships. We look forward to sharing our mutual ideas with Universidad de Chile around possible co-delivery of blended learning programs and additional emphasis on lifelong learning as the world of work changes through the global post-COVID recovery. We very much forward to colleagues from both sides visiting one another in person, and I have to say, I hope I'm one of those. I have never visited Chile, and I would love to come and meet you. So thank you all so much, and very best wishes from Manchester.
Thank you very much, President Professor Rothwell. And certainly we would love to welcome you in the post-COVID era, hopefully soon. So thank you so much for your encouraging words, very meaningful to all of us. And last but not least, I will ask our own President of the University of Chile, Professor Ennio Vivaldi, to give the closing remarks for this ceremony. Thank you, Professor Vivaldi.
Thank you very much, Eduardo. My very best regards to Her Excellency Luis de Souza, His Excellency David Gallagher, Professor President of the University of Manchester, Nancy Rothwell. Welcome here any minute. My best regards to all the academic authorities present. Good morning, good evening, and in the case of Pierluigi, I guess, good tomorrow. It is a privilege for us to this occasion. We believe that not because of option even, although it is very welcome, but because of a must of a need of the current complexity of problems that mankind is facing, that science is facing, that the humanities are facing, transdisciplinary efforts are a must, and the relationship of universities and the complementarity of the efforts that universities must do are essential. And what better way, as has been pointed out, to perform that is through the dual efforts that are being made about this co-supervision of collaborative projects with young people that are entering the world of knowledge production. So I think that there could be not a better way of facing today's problem than through the kind of activities that we are planning together today. This activity comes from a Newton Fund grant developed to develop smart ways of restoring electricity supply following natural disasters. And I think this is what I want to share with you. I believe that there are few words, few paragraphs, few thoughts more beautiful about the Chilean people than that was written by Darwin in 1935. Incidentally, Darwin arrived here as a geologist, and he spent more than 2 years of the Beagle's voyage in Chile, going up and down the Chilean coast and through the Chilean land. But it's such a beautiful paragraph when he reflects about the earthquake in Concepcion in 1835. And he says that when a family loses his house because of some disaster, a fire or whatever, it is the most depressive experience that people can have. But on the other hand, he says, when it's a whole city that is being destroyed, it's just the opposite, the reaction. I mean, people react toward this disaster that affects the whole community, the whole population, with a tremendous energy, with a great optimism, and with a deep, profound sense of solidarity. I believe that, as I said, that those words from Darwin are some of the most beautiful things that have been said about the Chilean people. But I believe that it's also so fitting for this moment in the world where we as mankind are facing this pandemic, and we hope that it will bring up the best of us, the best of a sense of solidarity, of brotherhood, of a common purpose, and that I believe the universities, we should give an example of that, and I think we are doing exactly that today when we are facing together the possibility of joint collaboration in, as has been said, many disciplines. Certainly welcome the astrophysics, certainly welcome all the areas of knowledge that you may want to deal interactions with. But clearly it is a moment for being together, for holding hands, for understanding a common purpose. And I believe that this kind of activities like the one we're launching today are the best contribution we can do for this moment that we are facing as mankind. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and we welcome and encourage further work between the University of Manchester and the University of Chile. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Vivaldi, for your words. And I'm very, very grateful to everyone, including our distinguished ambassadors and presidents. But before we close, we would like to take a picture to capture this very memorable moment and have it as in our history that we'll write in the future. So please turn on your cameras so that we can greet each other and have a picture taken. Christina. Are we ready? You need another capture, or are we ready?
The last one. Now we're okay.
Now we're okay. So thank you so much. And we're finishing on time, which is already the first accomplishment of the dual PhD program. So thank you, everyone. And my heartfelt greetings and un abrazo desde Chile. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you all
Bye.
very much. Bye-bye and good luck.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Cheers, everyone.